Are you looking for the best luxury watch brand for men? Then you're on the right place. You're watching Watches Studio, and in this video we're gonna looking for the world's top 10 best luxury watch brands for men on the basis of their price, quality, durability and more. We have included links in the description box down below for the latest prices, so let's get started. Our today's list from Breitling watch brand for men. The first man on the moon took a wristwatch with him. The first powered flight would never have taken off without a chronograph in its cabin. Our boys in the trenches lived, and died, with watches in their pockets. But Breitling, perhaps, is a closer friend of history than any other mark on the planet. In 1882 the world was in a period of transition. The Industrial Revolution had done its worst and everything was starting to feel incredibly modern. Industry, science and sport were all progressing in leaps and bounds. And witnessing all of this was Leon Breitling. Leon Breitling's chief obsession, however, was with aviation. As brave men were attempting to take to the skies in heavier-than-air machines for the first time in history, the one piece of technology they were in need of was an easy-to-use timer that also freed up their hands for the tricky task of takeoff. Breitling is currently forging a new path for itself in the world of luxury watches. In fact, the Premier line is a definite callback to a glittering, elegant period in the brand's history, when, circa 1943, it catered to the jazz-influenced lifestyle of Europe's beau monde. On 9th place we have the Blockpayne watch brand for men. Founded in 1735 by Jean-Jacques Blockpayne in the Swiss Jura, Blockpayne is known as the world's oldest watch brand. Loyal to its tradition of innovation and confirmed by countless horological complications invented over the years, the manufacturer is constantly pushing the boundaries of watchmaking to take this art to places where it has never been before. Embodying a long-term vision, this commitment to the revival of mechanical horology is expressed through the passing on of invaluable expertise from one generation to the next, along with regular investments in human resources, production technologies and research. Thanks to its constant stream of innovations and its complete mastery of the manufacturing process, Blockpayne benefits from a total creative freedom. With a high proportion of its components and tools designed and made in-house, trained specialists and craftsmen, manual assembly of each movement by a single watchmaker, and refined finishes performed entirely by hand right down to the finest hidden details, the strength of the manufacturer lies in its capacity to create timepieces that are at once innovative and loyal to the grand Swiss watchmaking tradition. On 8th place we have Cartier watch brand for men. Taking over his master's workshop, Louis-François Cartier founded Cartier in 1847, amidst the subversive times of the ongoing French Revolution. With the rise of the Second Empire, Cartier's business grew over a decade, with the opening of the first Cartier boutique in 1859. Louis-François' son Alfred then took over the business, moving it to the prestigious Rue de la Paix in the jewelry district of Paris. Alfred's own sons expanded the Cartier brand overseas, to London and New York. Alfred's third son remained behind in Paris to continue the growth of Cartier at home. The celebrity endorsements didn't stop there, with Louis' friend Alberto Santos Dumont commissioning a watch to wear while piloting his lighter-than-air dirigible. Santos Dumont's celebrity status made the wrist-worn watch, uncommon at the time, a must-have fashion accessory among men. Still today Cartier continues to push boundaries and challenge perceptions with its Concept ID collection. Utilizing a completely transparent ceramic case sealed from the air to reduce resistance on moving parts, the Concept ID 2 is a watch that could well have come from the future. On 7th place we have Hublot watch brand for men. Hublot was founded in 1980, making it the comparative newcomer in the watchmaking industry where centuries-old legacies are the norm. But since its inception, Hublot has exploded in the industry, earning its stripes with unprecedented design techniques and revolutionary materials. A landmark year in the history of Hublot was 2004 when Jean-Claude Biver, formerly of Blockpayne, assumed the role of CEO. Biver, a consummate marketing professional, soon took the brand's fusion concept to another level. Hublot began working with an array of materials, including carbon fiber, ceramic, Kevlar, magnesium, tantalum and tungsten. In 2005, Hublot released its Big Bang model, an oversized watch which scooped awards and proved to be an overnight commercial success. The watches sold like the proverbial hotcakes and the turnover of the company grew exponentially. The King Power, released in 2009, took the concept of the oversized watch a step further with early models measuring a significant 48 mm in diameter. On 6th place we have Montblanc watch brand for men. With over a 100-year legacy, Montblanc is widely popular for personalized gifts, leather goods, and watches. Originally started by a Berlin engineer and a Hamburg banker, the team steadily grew since the 1900s. Passing down the hands of many leaders and visionaries, Montblanc today is part of the Rittmont Group, with sister brands like Cartier and Piaget. Montblanc took over Minerva's, thereby also obtaining Minerva's technical know-how and watchmaking expertise. In the wake of the acquisition, Montblanc dove deep into watchmaking with the launch of its traditionally made Swiss watches. The collection showcased the epitome of skillful craftsmanship, the finest watchmaking technology, and groundbreaking revolutionary designs. Most importantly, Montblanc watches go through the 500 hours test. With an intention to simulate a year's worth usage, the test cycle puts some of their timepieces to a rigorous certification process. On 5th place we have Omega watch brand for men. Omega watches began in a small workshop established by Louis Brandt in La Chaux-de-Fonds, Switzerland in 1848. During first 30 years after it was founded, Brandt maintained a modest business, selling his watches to customers around the world. When he passed away in 1879, his sons quickly stepped in to carry on their father's vision. In 1885, the brothers released their first mass-produced caliber, the Labrador, and in 1892, they developed the first minute-repeating timepiece. Only 2 years later, they launched the 19-line Omega caliber, which sent ripples throughout the watchmaking industry and would soon give the company its name. Just a little over a decade later in 1948, Omega watches introduced the first edition of one of its most symbolic watches, the Seamaster. The first Seamaster was rolled out to celebrate the company's 100th anniversary. To this day, the model is still one of the most respected watches in the Omega family. Omega earned widespread popularity in the 1990s as the official watch of James Bond after an Omega Seamaster appeared on the wrist of Pierce Brosnan. Whether it's space, sports, or pop culture, Omega has easily preserved its reputation as one of the greatest watch brands in the world. On 4th place we have Panerai watch brand for men. Giovanni Panerai opened up his first watch shop in Florence, Italy in 1860. Giovanni's grandson Guido Panerai expanded the watch shop Orologeria Visera and took over his wife's family business, a mechanical workshop. In 1915, Guido Panerai invented gun sights that were illuminated by radium-226/zinc sulfide powder enclosed in small, hermetically sealed vessels. Radiomer, the name for the radium-based luminous mixture, is derived from Radio Mire, which is Italian for radium sights. Panerai became an official supplier to the Regia Marina, supplying a variety of technical equipment and precision instruments. All Panerai watches, except for the GTF 256, were designed and manufactured by Rolex using pocket watch movements made by Swiss manufacturer Cartier. The main driving forces behind the production of the first professional diving watches were Hans Wilsdorf of Rolex and Giuseppe Panerai. One of the rarest Panerai watches is a Second World War military diver watch. This historic watch was acquired by a British soldier named George H. Rosen in WW2. On 3rd place we have Rolex watch brand for men. Alfred Davis and his brother-in-law Hans Wilsdorf founded Wilsdorf and Davis, the company that would eventually become Rolex SA, in London, England in 1905. Wilsdorf and Davis' main commercial activity at the time involved importing Hermann Agler's Swiss movements to England and placing them in watch cases made by Dennison and others. These early wristwatches were sold to many jewelers, who then put their own names on the dial. The earliest watches from Wilsdorf and Davis were usually hallmarked W&D inside the case back. In 1908, Wilsdorf registered the trademark Rolex, which became the brand name of watches from Wilsdorf and Davis. In 1914, Kew Observatory awarded a Rolex watch a Class A Precision Certificate, a distinction normally granted exclusively to marine chronometers. In November 1915, the company changed its name to Rolex Watch Company Limited. With administrative worries attended to, Wilsdorf turned the company's attention to a technical challenge, the infiltration of dust and moisture under the dial and crown, which damaged the movement. On the second last place we have TAG Heuer watch brand for men. The ultimate reference in luxury chronograph watches, TAG Heuer's high-precision timing innovations have kept pace with the evolution of sports since 1860. Our timepieces make it possible to capture every fraction of a second of a performance. From the wrists of the drivers who have marked the history of motor racing to your wrist, TAG Heuer watches have a lasting impact on their time and their era. Shortly after its inception, TAG Heuer introduced the micrograph, a mechanical chronograph 5 times more accurate than any other, and became the official timekeeper for the most famous sports competitions. With the arrival of motorsports, TAG Heuer became the first watchmaking brand to sponsor the Formula One World Championship since its creation. Innovation as a profession of faith since 1860, from the first luxury connected watch in 2015 through improving the oscillating pinion in 1887. From inventing the first self-winding crown mechanism to the first ever double magnetic tourbillon. 4 production sites, our own manufacture, TAG Heuer has continued pushing the limits of watchmaking technology with innovations and savoir-faire. Masterfully designed, each of these collections has gained an iconic status, so time is to end up out today's list with the Alvis Nardin watch brand for men. Founded by Mr. Alvis Nardin in 1846, Alvis Nardin has written some of the finest chapters in the history of horologery. The Swiss watchmaker Alvis Nardin is an authority in nautical timekeeping precision, a standard-bearer to which all others are compared. Ever since its founding in 1846 and thanks to the ambitious and innovative family members leading the way, Alvis Nardin's history has always been synonymous that of precision timekeeping. In the over 150 years during which timepieces have evolved from heavy clocks to pocket watches to today's wristwatches, Alvis Nardin has been at the forefront of each revolutionary stage in timekeeping evolution. A pioneer of cutting-edge technologies and the innovative use of materials like silicium, the brand is one of the few with the in-house expertise to produce its own high-precision components and movements. Today, from its sites in Le Locle and Loch aux Stephans in Switzerland, the brand's continuing quest for horological perfection centers around 5 collections: the Marine, the Diver, the Classico, the Executive and the Freak. This is all for now. You can check links in the description box down below. All luxury watches brands are available on Amazon. You can check in the price by clicking on the link. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.